Hey, welcome to episode, what is it? 145 of Bull Boulder with, hang on. Oops, shit. See, the problem is, like you got this, here it is, with Travis Robinson. Yes. And what we're here is, we're waiting for the bus. We're waiting for school. Huh? There's no bus?
There's no bus.
School is virtual.
It's in the ether. It's everywhere.
Well, let's go do some virtual school.
Let's go learn.
Let's go learn. Oh, our classroom. Oh, look. The new schools have dogs.
My favorite.
Hey, there's some benefits here. Dogs.
Dogs. In a phrase that's close.
Okay, here we go into the classroom now. It's kind of different now.
Yeah, it's a little different here.
Yeah.
So mine's downstairs here.
You downstairs?
Watch your step.
So
It's a cave.
This is Garth Schulz, math extraordinaire.
Math teacher.
For Boulder City High School.
Oh, wow.
Well, here we are in the classroom. This was my son's bedroom at one point, but he's moved out. He's bought his own house now. So we've converted this into the classroom temporarily. We have a
Some
whiteboard on the wall.
All right.
Sine, cosine.
Solving a trig equation.
All right.
Serious.
Sir. Well, this is an important moment, I think, because this is like, Garth, you've been a teacher for 27 years now.
This is year number 27.
Right.
Yep.
And Travis here is just beginning his teaching
We're
career.
about to start year one.
Year one?
Year one.
Year one. He's starting virtually. Yeah.
Travis is a former student too.
Oh, yeah. How kind of passes on, right? Like,
Did Algebra II?
so does that make you feel good? Or yeah,
Oh,
hope.
pre-calc. That's what it was. Pre-calc.
Yeah. Oh,
Yep.
pre-calc was always hard. Yeah.
It's been a while.
Okay, so you got your whiteboard here. What are those there? Oh, those
That's
are.
a trig equation.
That's a trig equation. Oh yeah, that's when I got uninterested in math. It's trig. Somewhere in trig. Somewhere in trig and calculus, like I fell off the cliff. Yeah.
Well, this room was on its way to becoming a man cave.
Oh yeah.
And all this happened.
Oh yeah. There it is. Gone fishing, and all this,
collectibles.
all these collectibles, all these man
Sports
caves, kind of.
memorabilia
Yeah,
on the
right, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then it became a.
Then it became a classroom.
a classroom.
So
Yeah.
here's the desk.
Oh yeah, the desk. Okay, well, this is mission control.
This
Yeah.
is mission control. Yeah, no, get back
And
there.
we have so basically we need, at least the way I have it set up, is we run two different devices. So this on the laptop will connect in through a Meet.
Yes, through Google Meet, right?
Through Google Meet. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
So we'll have a let's see.
Do students have their own? How do they get on? Did they get Chromebooks or did they get their
A lot
own?
of
Or
the students got school Chromebooks or they have their own device.
Uh-huh.
I've had them just connected on their phone. I've had students driving somewhere and they're connected on their phone.
Oh, yeah?
Hopefully they're not driving.
right. Well, I heard it in the early part during the summer, like kids were like in the swimming pool, like like floating.
It happens. Yeah, you get them
Yeah.
everywhere.
But there's a dress code, right? You got to wear dress code.
When your camera's on, you have to be in school dress code.
Yeah, that means you can't wear a hat.
Well, I think we overlooked that.
Okay, well, we'll let it
This
slide.
can't be anything revealing.
Right. Yeah.
Revealing keyword.
Yeah.
Which happens at times, but so they'll be on a Meet, and then I can have PowerPoints or whatever I'm using to teach that day, and I have this software, which is a notebook software.
Yeah, that's a nifty one.
And I added this as a
Oh, yeah?
fairly recent addition, a writing tablet,
A writing tablet.
so I
Ah.
can grab a pen and we can write on this. Whatever I write here.
That's pretty fancy.
Oh,
It
yeah,
shows
yeah.
up there.
Typically, that kind of thing is used
Well,
for
it-
graphic design, but I like
Yeah.
how you've integrated it into your normal everyday.
But this is
Great.
like a super chalkboard. Like I said, can you make
can
like
solve
chalkboard noises? Like
Well, I don't know. I haven't figured that out.
you
But,
like
Alan,
sound?
Chalkboards haven't been around for a while.
Haven't? Oh,
No,
really?
We're not.
They don't use chalkboard.
dinosaur age
They don't talk. They don't use chalkboards anymore.
It's all dry erase boards now.
What did they do with all the erasers?
Who's cleaning the erasers?
Yeah, that was my job. I mean, how good was that for you? Slapping the erasers in front of your face all the time.
My very first classroom had a chalkboard, but that was just the first couple of years I taught, and then everything went to dry erase boards.
Yeah.
And now, actually, at the high school for several years, I've used a smart board, which is what this software comes from. So normally it would feed through. Sorry.
Oh, like Joan is watching. Hey, Joan. We know Joan.
She's right upstairs.
Yeah, like, yeah. Shall we see what virtual classroom looks like upstairs? No, okay, probably not.
She's got to get ready to go to real work. She doesn't get to work virtually.
So she has to like get dressed, and I mean, this is how you dress. I mean, he does have pants on, just to let you guys know. The shoes
become sandals.
Shoes become sandals. Okay.
But I dress like I'm going to school. I want it to feel like, actually, I was going to the school when we could.
Oh, yeah?
And we had the option of staying home or going to the school.
Right.
For me, it just felt like I was going to work if I went up there.
Yeah.
And I had all the technology and everything to use at the school.
Well, Glenn Riley is watching. Hi, Glenn.
And now that we're at home, part of it is we have to use our own technology. We're somewhat limited. I know I had to upgrade my internet service.
Oh, so each teacher is responsible for their own technology and computers and things like that?
Well, we can get some things from the school. So, like, we all have Chromebooks, and they have
Or you can get some really old Apple Macintosh you got in the back, in the storeroom.
Dig it up out of the back.
You could use this. It's heavy.
But I have, this is a relatively new laptop. This actually is from the my robotics program.
Oh,
this
right.
is a school laptop.
Right.
But this is my personal computer. And the reason I have two on, I usually have two devices going, is when I'm on the laptop, I'm on the Meet with all the kids, but I present my screen on the Meet. And I'm teaching, so I can't see them when I present screen.
Oh, right.
So then I'm logged on here, also on the Meet. So I'm on the Meet twice.
So it's important to see your students still, right? So that vacant look kind of comes through.
Most of them don't have their cameras on. Most of
they
them
don't.
Mic on.
Oh, yeah.
And my general policy is, if I'm teaching, I really don't want them to have their cameras on, because I don't want other people on the Meet to be looking at them instead of me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah,
there's what they're doing.
Right.
I do have, every day it seems like I'll have, the class will end and I'll go to, everyone will log off except like one or two kids.
And those are the ones.
And they've logged on and they're doing something else. They're not paying any attention.
Those are the ones
Right. Right. Oh, yeah. They're the ones that are like taking traffic school online and like watching YouTube videos on the other channel. Getting their hours.
Or something.
Yeah.
But so then we have to just close the Meet. Figure it out. But I try to record lessons as much as I can. But the difficulty is we can't record with students. So if we can't show students.
Oh, right.
So if I'm recording the Meet with all the students on there, if any student talks or says anything, the little image of the person talking becomes them, and it shows them, or their names at least. So what I end up doing is I open a second Meet and just put a different code on it, so nobody's on that Meet. And I present that and share screen and everything just like with them, but I use that one to record with.
So you still get the lessons minus the kids. Gotcha.
So that one's and then I have to be careful. Every once in a while, I'll call on a kid, say a name, but usually it's just a first name. If the kids talk, it might pick up their voice through the speaker.
And this is all for privacy issues. They don't want
And actually, the school district put out a whole. Every year they put out that thing that says, they release the rights to show their images and stuff. So if somebody takes a picture at school and they happen to be in the picture at an assembly or whatever, that can go out on the internet and stuff. And usually parents just signed those, sure, whatever, because it wasn't a real risk.
Right.
But with all this, some parents had more concerns. So we've had more parents than normal say no, they don't want their students shared.
Are there some advantages? Like, are some students like because I know like when I was in school, raising your hand and asking a question was kind of a big deal.
Right.
You felt like you weren't smart. I mean, are some students kind of respond better to online because they feel safer?
A lot of the students who normally, just like you said, would be more intimidated with the peer pressure of sitting in the classroom, have opened up a little more with this. They're more comfortable with this. And we have had some positive responses, but there's also been, a lot of negative responses.
Oh yeah, what was the main negative response that you got?
Well, a lot of students like school because of the social aspect.
Right.
That's really the
Hey Jeff,
reason.
Jeff Breeden is watching.
We've been talking about a lot about mental health too, and kind of just how it's affecting them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the big thing is right now that even the mental health experts are guessing at what it's really doing. Because
Right. I'm worried about the mental health people.
Yeah.
They're probably going crazy.
Yeah. For me personally, there's things that I really like about it, and there's things, of course, that I don't care about it.
Uh-huh.
But, for instance, there's no classroom management, hardly ever.
Right.
If somebody's on the meet and they have their camera on and they're screwing around doing something they shouldn't do, we can kick them off the meet. And there's a setting we can change that won't allow anybody to come back into the meet. And these are set up. The only way you can enter the meet, you have to have a CCSD email address.
Right. Well, is there a way to get like detention if you?
No.
Is it like it just?
No.
You can't detain them. You can only keep them out.
Send them to the dean.
Right. Yeah.
The
I guess corporal punishment is out, right?
it's really an email to mom and dad, a phone call. It's kind of it becomes that. There's no such thing as being suspended anymore because what are you gonna do? Send them home?
Yeah. That's true.
The,
Can parents get online and watch their kids learn or whatever?
Parents technically can't join the meet, but there's they're at home, so if a mom or dad's sitting there watching, there's nothing we can do about it.
Right.
Which is one thing we have to be very aware of as teachers, that we have to be aware that there could be anybody watching. They could be sitting there. Now technically no one else is supposed to record anything,
Right.
but they could be sitting there with their camera, with their phone,
Right.
just staring, holding it at their screen, watching. They could be recording anything, and then trying to use that against a teacher or student eyeball.
What's the most wild thing that's happened in one of your sessions?
I haven't had any real big ones. I also teach at the college, and I've had some interesting issues, especially with my summer classes. Had a gal who was logged on in the college class and had her camera on, and she was at her swimming pool. They had a pool, and somebody asked her
Poolside.
somebody, and you could just see kind of her face. You couldn't really tell what was happening. And then she gets up to go get something, and everybody everybody realizes she's got a bikini on. And, like, oh, wait a minute.
That changes.
Yeah.
It's try. I mean, what is it?
Yeah.
It's a triangle.
Yeah.
It's something. I mean, whatever it is.
Where was I again?
Oh yeah.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah. Take off your hat. Yeah.
And that's where some of the students go, "You're recording this, right?"
Yeah.
No, it was just. So you have to be careful sometimes. Sometimes the students log on and forget. There's an extension you can put into Meet that presets your logon settings. Otherwise, there's a default setting where your camera and your microphone are on when you log on.
Right.
And a lot of the students just have that. So every once in a while, somebody logs on and there's a second flash, and you see them. You can just tell the laptop's sitting on the bed and they're still on their pillow.
Right.
You're seeing them like this. They're pulling the blanket back up. Oh, turn the camera off.
Sounds
Right.
like my sister. They're like, I'm here.
Yeah, I have a sister in class.
Yeah. Then you hear from Mr. Schulz. You're drooling.
Yeah.
Wake up.
Hey, turn the camera off.
Hey, up.
Turn the camera off.
Yeah.
And it's kind of. But no, I haven't had anything real bad. The beginning of the year when it first started, they had issues with students joining other meets and just dropping in for a second, saying something stupid, and
Right.
now they've tightened the restrictions on the meets, so it's we all have a code that we open our meet with, and the students have to type in that code. Not that not everybody knows the code. It's just a little more strict on things. I've often thought, with the technology, we have Google Classroom, and our whole class is loaded in our Google Classroom. They'll join the classroom, and if there ought to be a way that we can create a meet where only the people within your classroom can join, so no other students, and anyone with a CCSD email could join our meet right now.
Oh, really?
And they have that because sometimes there's other people, like a counselor needs to join the meet to talk about something, or if somebody has...
Well, we're trying to figure this out. I mean, do you feel like you're kind of reinventing education as we speak? I mean, just kind of like,
definitely.
You're kind of like...
We've talked a lot about this, and there's a portion of this that we'll always have. I think, books might be done, worksheets might be done. Really, we create so much stuff on Canvas now, or Google Classroom, and even if students come back, we've talked. If the hybrid started, we would keep this format because you're still going to have half the students at home.
Yeah.
And so I would just be teaching exactly the same way. I just have students sitting in my room and some at home, and I'd still have cameras on me. I'd still be teaching electronically. Everything would be loaded in the online.
Are you finding that it's taking, are you putting more time in school or less time in school, or?
Well, it was more for quite a while. It took, it was a very steep learning curve, especially that first quarter. And then what was going to happen at the end of the quarter? How are we going to handle it?
Right. Even today, it's kind of up in the air, right?
Yeah.
Because they were talking about you guys going back to the high school at the end of the month if everything went right.
Then it got extended.
No, they're not even going to try until they're not even proposing the hybrid model again until January.
Okay.
Wow.
So even if they propose it in January, it's still going to be at least a month or so. I don't see us, if we're even back in the classroom this school year, because it's just, there's so much more to it now, because it's going to be very difficult, especially schools like us. We're doing the full year. We have 6 periods a day, full year to get the credit, and it'll be really difficult to try to transfer that to a hybrid model and still get enough teaching done to finish their year. And really right now we're kind of, most people are getting into it. Most people are in the groove. Most people are, they're kind of...
The learning curve's gone now, and people are within, know how to actually work the tools.
There's still some, and it's just like education. There's always more you can do. There's always more you can learn. But the really huge steep learning curve at the beginning is kind of over, and most of us are pretty comfortable, getting more comfortable with it. And so now I'm almost back to the normal amount of work, I guess, to answer your question. There's still, instead of taking a worksheet down to graphic arts and having photocopies made, I'm taking the worksheet, scanning it in, and loading it, and uploading it. And there's different ways. Now we're learning more ways to handle the PDFs and show students how there's apps out there they can put on their computer and open a PDF and annotate right on the PDF. Save it with the typing and everything on it, and submit it back through Canvas instead of having to print it, write on it, scan it,
saves paper,
and now my policy, and I think many of us have the same policy, is that if they don't have a printer, they don't have to print anything. They can just show work on a notepad just like normal on a piece of paper, and take a picture of it and submit their work. And some of it's done within Canvas. You can make tests and quizzes that are multiple choice, or fill in different types of tests and quizzes that are right on Canvas, and they can just Canvas? Submit their.
For the people that don't know, what is Canvas?
Canvas is our learning management system. So let's see. So here's the dashboard. So these are all the classes. And so when we open a class, this is my AP Stats class. I can't show any student stuff. Yeah, it's a picture of my dog on it. So we load the whole.
And the dogs are very good, by the way. They're like, like dog noises are like a part of a part of.
He's under the table down there.
Yeah. Dog. Yeah, these are good classroom dogs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they keep me company. So we load an entire module. So this is Unit 3 of my AP Stats.
Hey, Kelly.
So we have three chapters
Monday.
that we cover, and so everything for the chapter is in here. We do the YouTube video, the PowerPoint that I use, and then this will be the read is an assignment that they do to read the chapter, and it's basically notes for them to read the chapter, and then the recording. So that's when I give the lesson, I record it, and that's where I post the recording for them.
Okay.
Different worksheets, assignments.
So it's basically
that's-
a database for all your lessons.
Yeah. And it connects.
So you guys aren't just like
Things.
just showing YouTube videos like math for 12th graders.
I'm not, but now it's different depending on what you teach. Like Algebra I class, the district put out a whole class, basically a whole curriculum for Algebra I, and we use part of it. We incorporate it into ours, but some of it's not, a little challenging. Some of it's a little not challenging enough. It's, we just kind of, so we tweak everything for the way we want it. We add our own stuff and remove stuff, but a lot of the mainline courses, the district put that stuff together. And so I think some teachers are just using that, and that's kind of how you had to start, though, because we didn't know what we were doing.
Right.
And so since many teachers have kind of figured out how to make modules, how to upload worksheets, how to put tests in, how to work with PDFs, and all these different things that we've had to do, let alone trying to your subject matter. So many teachers now are getting to where they're able to adjust the lessons more and more themselves and kind of build their own stuff. But like AP Stats is one that there wasn't a pre-made program for. It's not a mainline class. So this is all stuff that I've built.
Well, what about the extracurricular stuff now? Like, I know you were into sports. I mean, you were baseball, but you were into robotics. What's happening with those activities?
Well, the robotics club right now, we're really not doing much. The first robotics, the people we belong to, the big group we belong to, they're doing some virtual stuff. We just don't have the team, the size of the team, and we have just a few kids who participate.
Do you think
so hands-on too?
And so our robotics, we're not doing a whole lot. Sports-wise, they keep looking at they've come up with a plan that they're going to do just like 3 6-week sessions of sports. So they'll have winter sports, fall sports, spring sports next semester. But if we're not back in classes, I don't know that they'll open those. We'll see. But
well, why don't we just make video games high school sports teams? Everybody's like, like your virtual team, everybody gets to draft whoever, and just like, think how the jocks would look. It'd be a whole different crowd.
Well, and the last sports thing I heard was they're not going to do contact sports, so no wrestling.
Right.
Although they talked about trying to do football with proper protection, some kind of mask in the helmet or something. And, I don't know.
A big bag over your head. You're gonna like.
But thankfully, I'm
Marco Polo.
I'm the bowling coach, so.
Oh yes, the bowling coach.
Get away with. We'll have.
Oh yeah.
So far they just put out new standards for, COVID standards for bowling.
Do you have to like Lysol your ball?
No, the masks are a part of it, and distancing, of course. I'm sure they'll spread us out on lanes more.
Right.
And have, so we'll be with our own team, but everybody's got to be in a mask, and probably, and even to the point of traveling in the bus to get there, you got these kids out on the bus, and
you gotta have like double the movement. Double buses, double.
Yeah, it's going to be to make that stuff. No, it's not bad with bowling because we're a pretty small team. We can all get on a bus and still be every other seat. But like a football team, they fill a bus, so they'll have to do a couple buses or something if that happens. We'll see what happens this year. But our student council, Mrs. Herr and the student council, shout out to them, did an awesome job. They did a virtual homecoming assembly. Where they had different kids and some of the teachers, they did their skits and their dances and stuff they normally do, but they all kind of recorded it themselves, sent it all to Mrs. Her, and between some of the Stuco kids and Mr. Lee, the computer teacher, he helped do the editing, and they put together a video that's the assembly. It came out awesome. I think it's great. It's it was really neat. Kids really enjoyed it, and they elected a homecoming king and queen. And
really? Wow.
yeah, so
Still
it's pretty
continues.
neat.
Oh, yeah.
We're trying to keep, and then that's the Stuco's always been big on keeping those traditions. The Boulder City High School goes back into the 40s, so there's a lot of tradition here. I'm a graduate of Boulder City. And yeah, Mrs. Her is. She graduated.
So are you.
I did.
I'm the only one here that's not a graduate. Yeah, Boulder City graduate. I feel kind of like.
Left out.
Yeah.
Kids.
Yeah. Well, I'm just lucky to let Asians now in here in Boulder City. Yeah, the depression, man. Yeah, hang out west side. Probably couldn't hang out the west side. I don't know where we hanged out, man. Probably Searchlight.
Well, there is Chinatown in Vegas.
That's true. That's true. Spring Mountain Road.
Yeah. So we're doing what we can. Our principal, Miss Wagner, she does lots of things to still try to keep morale up and try to keep everybody united. We really want the students to know and the town to know that we're still here and working and we still care about education and our students and our town, and so we keep trying. And a lot of the teachers have gone above and beyond. Many of us have started an after-school meet. So every day at 2:00, we open a meet that students can come into for after school.
Oh, wow. For whatever, huh?
And we offer, if a student, and we still have the one thing we can do is, like in the classroom, if you're really shy and don't want to ask a question, I'll tell the students that if you need something during the meet, you have a question during the meet, email me. Because my email will pop up. I can see it on my other computer. Right. And nobody knows who sent me the email. I'll just say, okay, well, what if you had a question about, just kind of...
Right. Let's say, Travis is, shoot.
Well, Travis, that's a dumb question.
Yeah. It's like my pet teacher, I remember my teacher going, I asked a question and he go, many beginners have this problem. And I go, shit, that's why I'm here, man.
No, but we can say, I'll usually say, well, let me cover this again, because I kind of think some of you didn't get that.
Right.
And...
Well, no, I would think, I always go, well, I've never been a teacher, but being a Boy Scout leader, it's that the blank look syndrome when you're talking to people and they have that look in your eye like, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. You have to
don't say anything, don't do anything, and they won't call.
Just ask them. Just ask them the question. Did anybody hear anything I said in the last 5 minutes? And most students are honest. They'll go, no. Okay. Oh, we'll try something different. Let's try this.
So it's given some of that, and like we were talking earlier, some students I think enjoy this and have done better because of this. And it's hard to judge because you don't know how many of those students there are, how many students are having a harder time.
Right.
You hear about the students having a harder time. You don't hear about the students who are doing better with it. So it's hard to judge where it's good and where it's bad. But some people have suggested, and I think it's a good idea, is if there'd be a way to use like the computer lab at the school to let those students who are having a hard time, or those students who have a hard time getting online at home.
Hey, Rose. Rose is watching.
Hi, Rose. Yeah. Give them, is that Rose who I know?
Yeah, Rose, and Kathleen Broadbent Morris is watching.
Oh, right.
There's all kind of, I like, put it up, He's got his pants on, shoes, dogs here.
Just got the dogs sitting here.
Got the dogs here, over here,
The dog, we go walking in the morning, so they got their 3 miles in this morning.
Oh, did they?
They get to crash and take a nap while Dad's working.
Doggies, and you don't have to worry about any allergies working with anybody.
Which is the other thing. I don't have to worry about kids bringing colds into my room.
That's true. That's why we're doing this, right? For COVID. Right. That's why. Dang it! I knew we were doing this for something.
I've never felt so healthy.
Yes. We are so clean.
Yeah.
God, but my hands are all cracking. I'm so clean. You know what I mean? Like, bring on the Aveeno.
Normally I don't have a mask on. This is because we're all in here. But
Right. We just
usually
want
I
to.
don't have to teach with a mask on because nothing's going to go through the computer out.
Right. Oh, except remember in Wisconsin they got the minks.
Oh, yeah.
The minks have gotten it. So like unless you got pet minks, which I don't think.
No,
Yeah.
not a mix.
Okay. No. It was Sweden, Denmark, somewhere like that.
Was it?
Finland?
Oh.
Yeah. It's all Finland.
Another strain.
Yeah. Like the coronavirus jumped from humans to minks.
Yeah.
Well,
Well.
we'll see.
Anyways, a lot of changes. A lot of changes.
Yeah, well, and I think even at some point, if we get back to where students can just be in the classroom, like I was saying, I think this is still forever going to be a big part of it. It's going to be students will be Chromebooks, and really when you think about everything we do in the classroom, handing out books, handing out papers, collecting papers,
Right.
all the things that expose us to various things. And teachers, I know my first couple of years of teaching, I'd never had so many colds and fighting flu and strep throat and all sorts of things. And
Right.
eventually, a lot of us build up immunities to that stuff, and I don't get sick very often now. But first year teachers, especially elementary school teachers, just really have a
Go
hard
through the
time.
reamer.
Yeah. And
Yeah, so Travis, you actually got a good way. You're going to be like, you
For my
can
health.
gradually, you're entering a very healthy.
Get to have salads that I make at home out of my own food.
Oh, that's right, right. And you can still, you can still go get school food if you're dying for it, right? Yeah.
They're still
really
good.
Yeah, so that possibility you can go and hang out and
Yeah.
yeah.
The district's giving out a lot of food, and people need to go take advantage of that. I know we have people sit up here at the high school in the back of the cafeteria
Really, just waiting.
handing out food. They're waiting for people to show up.
Yeah.
They went from students who were on the free and reduced lunch program to any student, and they're almost like now. You need food?
Anybody has
they can't give it away.
Hey, and no dogs are starving in Boulder City either. Man, we got food all over the place. So there's any place to help. But hey, thanks, Garth. It's great to have and Travis. It's nice to have smart people that care about the neighborhood, taking care of the neighborhood. So here we are in the neighborhood, episode 145 of Boulder at School.
That's cool. Yeah.
In 2020.
School 2020. This is it.
Thanks, Andy.